Most people often unknowingly fall into the cyclic trap of repeating the same actions and reactions, harboring the expectation of different outcomes in their lives. This pattern, deeply ingrained in human behavior, is propelled by a self centered approach where emotions such as fear, competition, and anger dominate. These emotions, while natural, can lead to detrimental habits and attitudes when they become the primary drivers of one's actions. As a result, individuals often find themselves stuck in a cycle of self indulgence, becoming increasingly self involved and placing undue importance on their own needs and desires above others. This self centered state of being, where one's own interests and well being are prioritized at the expense of others, is particularly counterproductive in times of crisis. In such scenarios, these selfish tendencies can intensify, leading to actions that not only fail to resolve the situation, but often make it worse. The focus on personal gain or protection in a crisis can lead to hoarding resources, exploiting others, or engaging in unethical practices, all of which serve to exacerbate the situation and drive deeper wedges within communities. Additionally, this cycle of repetitive behavior and expectation of different results is often underpinned by a lack of self awareness and reflection. Without taking the time to introspect and understand the roots of these habitual actions, breaking free from this cycle becomes increasingly challenging. The continuous pursuit of self centered goals creates a barrier to recognizing the broader impacts of one's actions on the community and the environment. In a world increasingly interconnected and interdependent, such self centered behavior is even more detrimental. It hinders the ability to effectively address and resolve collective challenges, be they social, economic, or environmental. The inability to see beyond one's own immediate needs and desires can blind individuals to the larger picture, to the interconnected nature of today's global challenges, and to the shared responsibility in addressing them. Living in a state of constant self preservation and competition significantly impacts our brain's physiology, influencing not just our behavior, but also our perception of the world. In such states, the body's natural response is to prioritize survival, and this is reflected in the way blood flow is distributed in the brain. The majority of the blood supply is diverted to the hindbrain, which is the part of the brain primarily responsible for survival instincts and immediate reactionary responses. This area governs functions like fight or flight, basic bodily processes, and reflexive actions. Consequently, this redirection of blood and resources comes at the expense of the forebrain, particularly the prefrontal cortex, which is crucial for higher order thinking. The forebrain is responsible for complex cognitive processes such as reasoning, decision making, empathy, and understanding the long term consequences of actions. When this area receives less blood, its functionality is compromised, leading to impaired judgment and a reduced ability to think critically or creatively. This physiological shift creates a significant gap between perception and reality. As the hindbrain takes over, individuals are more likely to perceive situations as threatening or competitive, even when they are not. This skewed perception can lead to a distorted view of reality, where opportunities for collaboration, growth, and positive change are overlooked. The world is seen through a lens of scarcity and conflict, rather than abundance and harmony. Moreover, this state of constant vigilance and competition fosters a sense of separation from others. As the hindbrain dominates, the ability to empathize and connect with others diminishes. People in this state are more likely to view others as competitors or obstacles, rather than as allies or collaborators. This sense of isolation can further entrench the mindset of self preservation, creating a self perpetuating cycle of competition and disconnection. This way of living also stifles creativity and innovation. The forebrain, particularly the prefrontal cortex, is essential for thinking outside the box and envisioning new solutions to problems. When this area is underutilized, individuals are less likely to come up with innovative ideas or see beyond their immediate circumstances. They become trapped in a cycle of repeating what has been done before rather than exploring new possibilities. Viewing a crisis as an opportunity, cleverly disguised as an impossible situation, necessitates adopting a radically new mindset, one that diverges significantly from conventional thinking. In the face of crisis, the typical reaction is often one of fear, anxiety, and a retreat to familiar patterns of behavior. However, effectively addressing and transcending a crisis requires a different approach, one that elevates above these standard reactionary patterns and embraces a more innovative and forward thinking mindset. Throughout history, individuals who have managed to transcend their circumstances, such as mystics, saints, and charismatic leaders, have often shared a common trait: the ability to see beyond the immediate and apparent reality. They did not perceive a crisis as a definitive end or an insurmountable obstacle, but rather as a launching pad for transformation and growth. These figures, through their visionary perspective, were able to innovate and bring forth solutions and pathways that were not apparent to others. This perspective involves looking at a crisis not just as a set of problems to be solved, but as a catalyst for fundamental change. It requires questioning long held beliefs in the status quo, challenging the limits of what is considered possible. In a crisis, the usual rules and conventions can be upended, creating a space where new ideas can take root and flourish. This is the cradle of innovation, where necessity becomes the mother of invention. Moreover, adopting this mindset means recognizing that a crisis can expose underlying issues and weaknesses within a system or culture. What appears as a breakdown can also be an opportunity for addressing these fundamental issues, leading to more robust and resilient systems in the future. It's a chance to rebuild and reforge, not just to return to what was, but to create something better and more sustainable. This approach also requires a degree of fearlessness and a willingness to venture into the unknown. Traditionally, the unknown is often met with apprehension and resistance. However, in the context of crisis and opportunity, stepping into the unknown becomes an essential part of the journey. It is in the realms of the unexplored and untried where new possibilities and solutions lie. Affecting meaningful change in our lives often hinges on the critical challenge of making choices that differ from those we've made in the past. The difficulty here lies in the nature of our thought patterns. A vast majority of our thoughts are repetitive, cycling through the same narratives and ideas day after day. This cyclical thinking pattern creates a comfort zone of familiarity, but it also acts as a barrier to growth and transformation. To break free from this cycle, a conscious, deliberate effort is required to not only think but also act and feel differently. This process of changing our thought patterns and behaviors necessitates a deep level of self-awareness. It involves scrutinizing our habitual thoughts, behaviors, and emotional responses and identifying those that have kept us anchored to our current state. This introspection allows us to pinpoint the repetitive patterns that need to be altered to pave the way for change. Once these patterns are identified, the next step is to consciously choose to think, act, and feel in ways that are different from our past responses. This might mean challenging negative thoughts with positive affirmations, engaging in new activities that push us out of our comfort zones, or allowing ourselves to experience and process emotions that we typically avoid or suppress. Each of these actions represents a step away from the old self and move towards a new self with a refreshed set of experiences and emotions. Transforming our habitual thought patterns is not a task that yields instant results. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to embrace the discomfort that often accompanies change. As we repeatedly choose to respond differently to situations, we gradually lay the foundation for new neural pathways in our brains. This neurological change is the biological basis of developing a new personality, and a new personality and a new personal reality. Moreover, this journey of transformation is not just about individual change. Our thoughts, actions, and emotions resonate with those around us. influencing our relationships and social interactions. As we evolve, so too do our interactions and connections with others. This can lead to a more fulfilling personal life, improved relationships, and a positive impact on our broader community. Acquiring knowledge and embracing creativity play pivotal roles in our ability to adapt to ever changing circumstances. In an ever evolving world, the continuous pursuit of learning is essential. When we expose ourselves to new information, we stimulate the creation of new neural pathways in our brains. This neurological activity doesn't just expand our knowledge base, it fundamentally alters the way we think and perceive the world. By forming these new connections, we equip ourselves with a broader, more diverse toolkit for problem solving and decision making. The act of learning goes beyond the accumulation of facts and data. It involves a deeper level of understanding and integration of new concepts into our existing knowledge framework. This process of integration is where creativity comes into play. Creativity isn't just about artistic expression. It's a way of thinking that challenges the status quo, explores new possibilities, and synthesizes information in novel ways. When we embrace creativity, we allow ourselves to see beyond conventional boundaries and consider solutions that we might not have previously contemplated. This shift from a mindset dominated by survival based emotions such as fear and competition to one fueled by creativity and innovation is transformative. Survival based thinking often leads to short term reactive decision. Making often leads to short term reactive decision. While this can be useful in immediate high stakes situations, it's less effective in complex long term scenarios. Creative thinking, on the other hand, enables us to approach problems with a fresh perspective. It encourages us to ask questions like, what if and why not, which open the door to new ideas and approaches. In challenging environments, whether in our personal lives or in the workplace, the ability to adapt is crucial. Adaptation is not just about enduring change, it's about actively engaging with it, understanding it, and finding ways to thrive within it. Knowledge and creativity are key to this process. They enable us to navigate uncertainty, to remain flexible and resilient in the face of change, and to seize opportunities that arise from new situations. Moreover, embracing creativity and seeking knowledge also have broader implications for our emotional and mental well being. Engaging in creative activities and lifelong learning has been shown to boost mental health, enhance cognitive function, and increase overall life satisfaction. These activities provide a sense of purpose and fulfillment, contributing to our ability to cope with stress and adversity. Furthermore, in a rapidly changing world, the ability to adapt is not just an individual necessity, but a collective one. Societies that foster a culture of learning and creativity are better equipped to face global challenges. They are more likely to innovate, to find sustainable solutions to complex problems, and to create environments where individuals can thrive. To embark on a journey of true transformation, it is essential to venture into the unknown, stepping away from the comfort and familiarity of established patterns and routines. This step, while daunting, is a crucial part of the process of creating and experiencing something entirely new. The unknown is often a space filled with uncertainty and discomfort, but it is within this space that the seeds of innovation and change are sown. Embracing the discomfort of the unknown is not a passive act. It is an active engagement with new experiences, ideas, and perspectives. It is in this space where conventional thinking is challenged, where the boundaries of what is known and understood are stretched. This embrace of discomfort as a creative space is key to not only predicting but also actively shaping the future. It demands a willingness to let go of preconceived notions and the safety of predictability, and to dive into uncharted waters with an open mind and heart. This journey into the unknown requires a leap of faith, a deep seated belief in the potential of the unseen and untested. It calls for an exploratory spirit ready to question, experiment, and learn. In the face of uncertainty, this willingness to explore new possibilities becomes a powerful tool for personal and collective growth. It is through this exploration that we discover new pathways, innovate solutions, and gain deeper insights into ourselves and the world around us. Moreover, venturing into the unknown is not just about external exploration. It is equally about an inward journey. It involves delving into the unexplored aspects of oneself, confronting fears, and uncovering latent potential. This internal exploration can be as challenging as external adventures, as it requires confronting aspects of oneself that may have been ignored or suppressed. Furthermore, stepping into the unknown often involves risk. It means making decisions without having all the answers, taking actions without guarantees, and being open to the possibility of failure. However, it is through taking these risks that we learn and grow the most. Each risk taken is an opportunity for learning, each failure a lesson in resilience and perseverance.